Hey everyone, it's the Itch Network, and we're talking about Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, buddy.
So the series just concluded.
Right.
Goku, Frieza, and 17 wins.
Yeah. Only 17.
Yeah, 17's the winner. Last episode of the series seemed very rushed. They were concluding a lot of things. The epic fight and all that stuff happened the episode before. This is more so just kind of, it just went, I don't know, it just felt like lackluster, like they just needed it to be over.
Well, the thing is that the whole tournament was such a long, slow burn to this point, and you had like so many episodes versus Jiren. I kind of am happy to kind of push this a little faster, because I was like, how are they good? Oh, that's how they beat him.
I didn't really get excited for it.
Really? Oh, I guess because you knew it was ending. I knew it was ending. We knew he had to be defeated, so I was like, all right, just gonna beat him real quick.
Yeah. I did not like that Frieza and Goku teamed up.
Oh.
I don't like Frieza as a character anymore.
Why?
Played her role. She had her arc. She had her arc way back when. And that's great. Make new characters that are just as interesting. Don't resurrect old ones to try and make them interesting. That's just my feeling on just the entire Dragon Ball series.
I mean, but they now have a new plethora of new characters now, right?
Yeah, they do. Which is why I'd rather chase those down instead of Frieza.
Yeah, like developing the new characters. Like, I would love to see more Kaiba.
Yeah.
And see where...
Kaiba, Kale, and what's your name?
No, just Kaiba. I have my gripes with Kale and Kefla, but I like the whole Vegeta, Kaiba experience was very well thought out. Or not well thought out. It could be...
Is it Kaba?
Is it Kaba? Because it's cabbage.
I think it's Kaba.
So, yeah, Kaba. We'll call it Kaba. But yeah, I would love to develop more into the new characters in Dragon Ball right now. They have so many new guys that are way cool. I would love to know more about Hit and his race. I don't know what the hell is he? Because he kind of explained to everybody.
I don't know if I want them to go into the race so much, just simply because if you look at Frieza, when they went into his race, they just started making Frieza, Cooler, Frost. I get it. Like, they're all pretty evil stuff. Like, give me a little bit of background on him, like his childhood, but I don't know if I want to focus on his race so much.
You know what? You're right. You're 100% right. You know what I really want? I want to know what their name theme is. Because obviously Hit is Hitman. Is everyone like in that same category? Because, like you said, Frost, Chill, Frieza, Cooler. Like, I just love how stupid their names are.
Yeah, and then you have the Saiyans that are all supposed to be
vegetables, cabbage, cauliflower, kale,
Kakarot,
carrot cake.
Yeah, carrot cake. And then was it Piccolo was supposed to be all musical instruments?
Yeah, him and his little gang.
Yeah, when he was back in Dragon Ball. Yeah, the naming thing in Dragon Ball is pretty funny. Yeah. But yeah, as far as Super goes, I mean, the whole series, it was 131 episodes.
Right.
And like the first, 40?
It's a recap.
It's a recap of the movies that they released, so it's kind of like, what? I mean, it's cool for them to have more detail in them, I guess, but I mean, the animation was off on them for the first, 20 episodes.
Not to mention why, you brought it up. Like, what's the point then at that point? Like, why would you have the movies and then have the whole series? Honestly, why don't you just show the movie again? Or, like, just have the movie in there and then start again from after that.
Yeah.
And then have the movie again in there. And, the two movies that they recap are Battle of the Gods, which explains Super Saiyan God, obviously.
Red hair.
And then Resurrection of F, which is Resurrection of Frieza, which he comes back to life. Resurrection of Frieza. Yep. And they recap it in the anime with more episodes, but they literally say the same thing.
pretty much. There are a few variations, and they add in a couple scenes, but overall, I actually do prefer the Resurrection F in the animated, in the series, because they brought Ginyu back in that.
Oh, I thought they did it in the movie too.
In the movie, I don't think they did. I can't.
He took over...
100%. I can't, but I can't remember in the movie 100% right now. But I'm pretty sure that it was just Tanopo or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I thought he body switched because the frog somehow got off of Nappa
Off the spaceship.
Yeah, Namek. That was it.
Yeah. So let's actually the animated series shows that happens.
Oh.
In the animated series, that's when Ginyu comes out, but in the actual movie, Ginyu doesn't show up.
Oh.
So that was like one of the only changes that I really saw there. That was, as far as the movies go, that's really the only change that I saw. And going forward from there, you get fresh arcs, you get fresh story. And that's when you started introducing a lot of these characters, because you went from there, you went into the Universe 6 and 7 tournament, which was actually really cool. I really like that. I like seeing they added like basically kind of like alternate versions of Saiyans and Frieza and stuff, and I like the Saiyans in Universe 6.
Yeah.
I would like to see Saiyans in other universes as well, because I would like them to not be so rare, so that you have other people who can potentially be as good as Goku, kind of thing.
That's what I was hoping for. Like, there was like a parallel universe in which there was like another Goku out there.
Like Goku Black?
No. Well, we'll get in that one. But yeah, like I do like the fact that they actually have a whole planet of Saiyans in their home world that didn't get blown up. So it was interesting to see that, but I would like to know more about their universe, which you'll bring up later.
Yeah, because so after they do Universe 6 and 7, they go into a little bit of a spin-off where they do some filler and stuff, but I actually don't consider it filler.
Right.
I actually really enjoyed the Vegeta having to use the pacifier.
Yeah, you know what? I really the day of life in Dragon Ball Super I really like when they're between fights and arcs and such.
Yeah,
because it's actually kind of funny. It's like it's way more enjoyable seeing Goku in the tractor, like just being a goofball and actually having to work.
Yeah. And like when they're doing the cabbage picking and stuff with Piccolo and Goku and Krillin and all that.
The training!
Yeah.
I can understand now.
Yeah, like that stuff is stupid funny. Like I like that stuff.
Right.
I thought that added a lot. And I think overall Dragon Ball Super did a good job of mixing itself with like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It's got the power levels and the fights of Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't have any. I mean, there were some pretty good fights in it. Like Hit and Goku was a really good fight the first time when he unleashed Kaioken.
Right.
That was a really, really cool fight. Topo and Goku going at it was a pretty good fight.
Right.
And then Vegeta going against, I think it was Zamasu, or no, Black Goku.
Yeah, Black Goku.
Yeah, Vegeta and Black Goku is one of my favorite fights of that whole thing. When he comes out of the time chamber and then goes after him.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite fights to watch. Super Trunks going all Spirit Sword instead of Spirit Bomb.
Yeah.
That was a really cool fight against fused Zamasu. Which is one of the next series after the exhibition, the tournament between 6 and 7. They go into the Black Goku arc, which then leads them into the Tournament of Power arc, which then leads them to the end of the series and showing off a new trailer for a new movie.
Right.
So.
All right. So, what's your overall summary of Dragon Ball Super? What do you think of it?
Dragon Ball Super was fun. That's kind of the only real word I have for it. It was fun to see new content and to see new characters and new life breathed into Dragon Ball, because I've been still watching Dragon Ball Kai for years to this point, I've still been watching it, but I've seen all this stuff before. So now it's really, and I've been playing all the Dragon Ball games and stuff, and it's just the same fights rehashed, and it's like, well, what if this happened? What if that? And it was starting to get old, and then out of the blue, here comes Super and all these new movies and all this new stuff. I really liked that. Like, I was really glad that it was there. I don't know if we had Super, if we didn't have Super, I don't know if we would have had Dragon Ball Fighter Z, the video game that came out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would have been a thing. So I think it's done a great thing for the fan base and for the really just the fan base. But as far as the story goes and the character developments and the things they decided to do in Dragon Ball Super, I don't believe Resurrection should be a thing.
Oh yeah, you talked about that before.
Yeah, I don't think that should be a thing. Once a character dies, they die. Let their story continue in Otherworld.
Right.
Like, if you really want to do something with them, let their story continue in Otherworld.
Make the stakes of like resurrecting a little higher.
Yeah.
Like, rather than just like, oh shit, now we gotta spend a day to get the Dragon Balls. I guess technically it's 4 months until you can use them again, but you know what I mean.
But 4 months to us to them is like a second to us.
Yeah, right? Like Goku's like pushing what? 45?
Something, yeah. They're approaching 50s.
Right.
But yeah, the overall Dragon Ball Super is fun and stuff. There were some things that I want to see. Like, it's the day in the life stuff that you mentioned. Right. I really do like it, but I still want them to be fighters at the end of the day.
Right.
Which brings me into Gohan.
Right.
God damn it. What? Like, when the series started, I was like, he showed up in a tracksuit to fight Frieza.
Not even in any gi.
Yeah.
Like, he just got done with his morning run.
Exactly. Shows up in a tracksuit wearing his glasses.
Right.
It's like...
Yeah. And then, like I said, like one of those dramatic effects, like, now I gotta take my glass. His body.
It was like his whole power thing. Like, I like the fact that they didn't just make him go like, oh, hey Goku, I need to train. I'm gonna be a fighter again. Do you want to learn how to go Super Saiyan God? And he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
That's actually cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't. I want him to move away from being a Goku replica. Right. And something you brought up, the manga. The manga that goes along with this. I need to actually read that. I didn't know it was that much different.
It's pretty different. Like the ending, for one thing, in the Tournament of Power, Gohan, for one, is wearing Piccolo's gi, not Goku's gi, which is it's thematically perfect because he's always trained under Piccolo.
Yeah.
This like small bits and changes here and there, like Vegeta fighting Beerus again as Super Saiyan Blue.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened.
Exactly. Like he does like a nice little spar against him. And he actually lands a hit, and then Beerus just like, all right, fuck it, just beats the shit out of him. And then, because actually that's watching one of the lines in Dragon Ball Fighter Z where "Don't get cocky" comes from. Is that like he gets Vegeta punches him, and he like don't get cocky, and he just grabs him and just slams him on the ground. It's fucking sick. I'm sorry.
Another thing I really liked about the series is it started to make everyone's power level and every character relevant again. Everyone got this huge power boost. Like,
except TN for some reason.
Well, I mean, he sort of. They kind of made every character relevant again. Master Roshi, his whole series in the Tournament of Power, in the arc there, loved it.
Right.
I loved what he was doing there.
Master Roshi took out more people than TN.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
I think he took out more people than Piccolo and Gohan. I think Roshi was like number 2 or 3 on the team for KDs.
Yeah. Gohan and Piccolo took out those two Namekians. Mm-hmm. If you want to count Despo, Gohan took out 3.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the kill count or the knockout count is
There is a chart that explains it.
Okay.
That goes into detail. Last I saw, Vegeta was leading the pack. He had the most for Universe 7, which makes sense because he's the cutthroat of the group.
Right.
But I saw Roshi on there as like number 4 at the time, and I was like, huh, because and his whole mentality and stuff was great. Right. He was like walking around, he was like, oh, you would be a problem for Goku. I got to take you out.
Right.
Because he's like, Goku will fight all the strategic people, or all the combative people, all the brutes and stuff, but all the strategy-based people, like all the deception stuff, right. Like I need to take care of that. So it was cool to see Roshi use that way. Krillin and 17 coming back and coming into the series, he went from being the psychotic killer to this like cool, level-headed park ranger. Like it's kind of a flip for his character. But I think it's good. I think they need another one of those. He's a little too emo and too mysterious. Like he just needs to talk and have opinions instead of being like, I have opinions. The world is dark. I must save the animals. Like it just seems very flat.
Well, he's not really emo. He's not like, he's just a very cool, calm individual because he cares for his family. He's got a family, which we'll never see apparently.
Yeah, because they show him on the boat at the end. But
yeah, by himself still.
Yeah, like, it's still by himself. Like, can't you just draw some generic like characters?
You can honestly put in like shadow figures and just be like, like put a shadow on him, like and him just smiling at the shadows. You know what I mean? But like look into the room.
Yeah.
Like, yay. Like
it could have been 2 hands like waving at him, and he's like, "Oh, hi."
But yeah, you're right. He does have that kind of like, not. Is it really emo? Because he's not really like emotional. He's just like cool, dark, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It bugs me that his character is dumbed down to that, and I like the fact that it switched when he became, I don't even know if you call him human, because I've never seen 17 or 18 bleed, so you can't call them human.
Sprained her ankle though.
Yeah, she sprained her ankle, but she could have just popped something out of the joint, or like a screw could have come loose or something.
Listen, they're cyborgs, aren't they?
Yeah,
because they always talk about, I kind of like how human this feels, but I'm like, you're human. You just got robot parts in you.
Yeah, so technically in the series they are cyborgs, as far as sci-fi terms goes. But yeah, it's weird because when we saw 16 torn apart and they were like got his insides going,
right?
Like it's all metal, it's all machine. Other than and like even their brains were computer chips.
Right.
So, and the fact that she had a kid, 18 had a kid.
Right.
So she has to have a uterus, I think.
Right. Well, we don't need
a vulva.
We don't really need to. Yeah. We don't really need to get into all of that.
But the reason I brought that up was because they had this infinite power. Their energy reserves never depleted, but their bodies would get beat up and weak and stuff.
Right.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, yeah, you can't make an invincible machine. And I'm like, well, wait. How did she have a baby if she's a machine? And it's like, I got this confused part, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to get too into that.
Right.
But I'm just curious, like...
They're just cyborgs.
Yeah.
But for some odd reason, they always talk about, like, I like how human this feels. And, like, they're talking about, like, how human they are.
Yeah.
Or human-like this is, but you're human.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just talking about it because they never had a childhood or something. Because they've always been experimented on, right?
I guess, yeah, I don't know.
But we're getting way too into this for a whole summary about Dragon Ball Super. But,
what was your favorite arc?
Goku, the Black series.
Yeah.
And the reason why isn't necessarily because my favorite things about Dragon Ball have always been the villain of the week. And this is kind of my gripe with this whole thing. Is that there's essentially, I guess you can call it 5 arcs. The Beerus, which resulted in him not much, or him getting trained up. Resurrection F, which, fuck it. I'm just gonna go past that. The Goku Black series, because I like the villain of the week scheme. They had excluding the first 2 arcs, which were movies, they only had the Tournament of Power and Universe 6 and 7. and I really like. If anyone looks like the villain, it should be Goku. To be honest,
Yeah.
like, because he kind of sparks this whole tournament of power thing. Even though they do say that Zeno was planning on destroying those other universes eventually. So, Goku doing this is like a heaven sent. Did they put like a timeline of when he was going to do that?
Yeah, yeah, that is very true. Like so Zeno was he was going to destroy all these universes, and Goku goes, hey, let's have a tournament of power. And then Zeno's like, yeah, and if you lose, you're eliminated forever. You're erased. Right. You're eradicated.
Goku's like,
he's like, well, you know what? I'm super strong. I'm gonna win. It's not gonna be a problem for me. And at that point, yeah, you're kind of a villain because you're accepting the fact of genocide for entire universes.
Right. Not to mention putting yours at stake.
Yeah, you're putting everyone at stake because you just want to you want to fight somebody strong.
Right.
Like, it's very, very selfish. And yeah, there's always that wish at the end, and you could say Goku knew that if he got the wish, he would wish everything back. Right. Which 17 ended up doing. But yeah, Goku is definitely plays a villain in that series, in that arc.
In that arc.
Yeah. And then in your arc, your favorite arc, which to be honest is mine too, is the Zamasu or Black Goku series arc.
One, I will 100% recommend you read the manga because it explains a lot more why some things are happening the way it does.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to do this.
Because they explain why Trunks is the only one alive. They explain why. They explain more about what the sensei, I forgot the sensei's name, is Zamasu.
Zamasu sensei?
Gasu?
I think that's about right. That's close. Close enough.
His role in that future arc is a lot more. He has a lot more input into it. I'll tell you about it after. But and then just like I said, just read the manga of that arc is amazing. And what were we talking about?
Your favorite arc?
Oh yeah, Goku Black's arc because like I said, I like the villain of the week. That's one of my favorite things about Z. Is how they have to eventually. They have to come up with some sort of scheme to beat the boss or beat the big villain. They never just overpowered it. It was always like some sort of almost trickery.
Yeah.
Like Z. I'm sorry for comparing Z, but that's the reason why I like the Goku Black art because the Spirit Sword, essentially. Mm-hmm. Copyright by Yu Yu Haku, but the Spirit Sword was kind of cool because it was like, oh shit, like they're losing. Mm-hmm. They're gonna lose this one. And they had to come up with something. I wish they kind of told us what the Spirit Sword was. You kind of knew, but I kind of wish I knew how do you learn this technique, what this technique is. They kind of always kind of explain stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's like one of my reasons why I like it because it was actually back to the old like we gotta do some gimmick to beat the boss.
Yeah, and Spirit Bomb kind of was used to beat every boss like that Goku's ever come across. Mm-hmm. He used it on Boo. He used it on. Not to beat them, but to damage them heavily. Right. He used it on Frieza. Used it on Piccolo, I think. Did he use it? He knew it back then.
No.
Okay, so it was Frieza.
Vegeta.
Frieza, Vegeta. He used it on Cell, right?
No.
Did he use it on Cell?
No.
He used it on Boo.
Yeah, he used it on Boo. Cell blew him up in that series.
Oh yeah. We did the instant transmission.
Right.
Which, to be honest, that's another thing. I know this series is basically the story of Goku. Like, all Dragon Ball is the story of Goku. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Goku's character has been fleshed out enough to where I don't feel like I need more of Goku.
Well, it's honestly how it is the story of Goku, but it's the story of Goku and how he affects the people around him.
Right.
And that's the general thing about it. It's not necessarily like we're going to talk more about Goku because Goku is uneducated, but it's the way he like affects Jiren, the way he affected who else? Golly,
Hit.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's kind of how his story goes.
Yeah.
How he makes people have a change of heart.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much that like he turns them from enemies to frenemies.
Right.
And like that, they may not be best friends, but they develop a respect for him. And like if you look at like his friends, they actually kind of did that at one point where they said, "Hey, look, Yamcha was like originally stealing stuff from Goku. He's now friends with him. Tien used to be enemies with Goku because he was from a rivaled school. He was from the Crane school." And then you get into Vegeta was an enemy.
Yeah, I must say his whole series is about, his whole crew is a crew of ex-enemies. The only people who were never an enemy to him was Krillin.
Well, Krillin was kind of a dick to him.
Who?
Krillin and him had their...
But that's a rivalry.
Yeah, I guess that's rivalry, yeah.
He never like tried to kill Goku.
True. Yeah, so Krillin...
Tien technically too. All he did was try to beat his ass.
But yeah, I mean, then you have his kids and stuff and all that. But yeah, as far as the Dragon Ball series goes, I liked the Goku Black series because it was more serious.
Right.
It started off super dark, with like seeing Bulma being murdered and stuff. Like that was like super crazy. And the part that's weird to me is that like they don't ever think about using the Dragon Balls to bring back that universe and to restore that universe. I'm sorry, not universe, but alternate timeline.
Yeah, they do. Xeno.
What?
Xeno.
What about him?
He brings back the timeline.
I thought he completely eradicated it.
Yeah, but he builds it back up.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's why they go back.
Oh, I must have missed that 5 seconds.
Otherwise, if he had to stay in there, he would have been a tournament power.
That's true. I actually would have loved that.
Yeah.
I would have loved Super Trunks, or not Super Trunks, but Adult Trunks to be a part of this universe permanently. Which brings us to where's this series going?
Well, there's a movie coming up.
Which is Goku versus another Saiyan that we don't know anything about. Other than he has a green aura and he looks pretty angry.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wondering if it's Yamoshi.
Yeah, you were talking about that. I don't know who this character is. You were telling me they mentioned in Dragon Ball Super a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of go into who Yamoshi is in Dragon Ball Super, where they basically talk about how he was the original Saiyan to go what they called the legendary Super Saiyan. The legendary Super Saiyan was not someone going Super Saiyan. It was someone going Super Saiyan God.
Oh.
So not Super Saiyan God, but Saiyan God. He basically had the 5 people give their hearts into him, and his whole story of him flexing and trying to change the Saiyan race and all that kind of stuff. But basically, his story ends with him saying, "Look at how powerful I am. I don't want to use it to hurt anybody. I want us to change our ways." And then his comrades that turned him into the Super Saiyan God, they got captured, and basically they were going to execute them unless he like gave himself up. And he's like, "All right, fine, kill me, but don't kill them." They beat the shit out of him, and then just before, like once they knew he wasn't strong enough to fight back, they then killed his friends and then killed him.
Oh.
Yeah. So Yamoshi was back in the ruthless Saiyan age. So I kind of want to see something going on with him, but I also don't know if that's going to be possible. I mean, anything's possible with time skipping and all that stuff. He could literally, this movie could be Goku going and getting a time ring and going back in time to go fight Yamoshi.
You saying the most legendary Super Saiyans like back in like 2000 BC? All right, let's go.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, Chrono Trigger, Dragon Ball Z style.
But I can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. To be honest, like this whole Dragon Ball Super is fun.
Right.
It's what it is. It's what it's supposed to be. I mean, analyzing it and critiquing all the story points and all that kind of stuff, all I really want from Dragon Ball is more story. I want more of the characters to be fleshed out. Yeah. I want new stuff. I don't want to see Goku versus Frieza for the umpteenth time.
Yeah, the more you talked about that, the more I thought about, they should have probably got someone else.
Yeah, I mean, you have Cell that you could have brought into this.
Yeah.
You have Majin Buu that was like here but not there.
Passed out.
Yeah, he was always just sleeping, and it's like, well, you have that character you could have used instead of Frieza that was already alive still.
Well, they tried. He worked himself into Skinny Blue and ate and got like food coma.
Yeah.
The worst items of all time.
Yeah, but again, they could do anything with it, but they chose to resurrect Frieza. And I know that Frieza's super popular in Japan and all that stuff.
He's still my favorite villain.
Yeah,
one of my favorite villains.
I definitely agree. Like the Saiyan arc, or not the Frieza saga, love it. It was great. It was fantastic. It's one of my favorites as well. But thanks for that. Now let's move on. Like, because otherwise we never would have gotten Cell had we never moved on from Frieza.
Right.
And I want the next supervillain.
Yeah.
So, and like Beerus, not really a villain.
Yes, Beerus not a villain. And when you watch Resurrection F and that whole anime, that whole series, it almost loses its like seriousness when you see that Beerus is just sitting around the corner and Vegeta's sitting right there. So even as the fight goes on, you see they're evenly matched. You're like, Vegeta's right there. He's gonna beat your tail if Goku can. Mm-hmm. So
then you're gonna be exhausted and all that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, the other thing about this series too that we noticed that we do need to put in here, all the transformations that happened, all the power jumping that happened in this. Yeah. Doesn't really matter because they can just do what they did at the beginning of the Tournament Power and boost everybody back up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. Power levels are bullshit. But it is crazy all the different transformations that Goku went through in this series. We had talked that in 300 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, Goku had 4 transformations. He had Kaioken, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. He had 4 transformations. In this 131 episodes, he turned into red hair, blue hair, Kaioken blue hair, and white hair.
Perfect white hair.
And then perfect white hair. I guess that would be, he was imperfect black hair, and then it went into white hair. So he had 5 transformations in 130 episodes, to where in Dragon Ball Z, he had 4 in 300 episodes. So in a third of the time, he had as many, and +1, transformations. So, and Vegeta went from Vegeta to Vegeta Blue to Vegeta Evolution Blue.
Right. I wish it was just True Blue or something like that.
Yeah, True Blue, or yeah, something along those lines. But I mean, and their naming system for all these things.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Evolution is the official title.
Yeah.
Or at least the title that they put it on, like the cards that they got for the Dragon Ball Fighters or Dragon Ball
card game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have the what was it? The Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken.
Yeah,
something.
Times 10.
Yeah, but it a lot of cool people that they add into the series. Excited to see those characters fleshed out.
Yep. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. All right. I'm Rosie.
I'm Eric.
Thanks for watching.